Very simple.
What's up, y'all? This your boy James to the O here doing a one-on-one interview about dating, relationships, and marriages. I am here with
Arielle, your cousin, obviously.
Arielle, my cousin, visiting her from LA to Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas don't always stay in
No,
Vegas.
it doesn't. Relationships get, marriages get dissolved in Vegas because the secrets always come out.
Yeah, so how do you feel about today's dating relationships?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't really feel anything about it. I think everybody is stuck in their own minds and it's a shit show everywhere. Everywhere. Even dating, and people have these facades in their brains of what their spouses should be like, and unrealistic expectations and requirements that they don't even fit. So yeah,
Is
it's a
it complete chaos?
it's a shit show. If I can, a poop show, because I probably can't say shit.
Yeah, you can.
It's a shit show. It's a shit show.
Okay, and what's your marital status?
Married,
Married for how long?
2.5 years.
How's it going?
It's no different than being in a relationship, honestly. Me and Joel have been together for 14 years. I think the marriage just solidifies our union, but nothing really changed. Other than the fact that we have a legal status of being married and we have benefits as a married couple. We have to file our taxes together, but our lifestyle and what we do on a daily basis didn't change because we got married. We still move the same way. We lived like married people before we actually got married anyway, so there was really no changes to be made but getting married.
A piece of paper, they say.
A piece of paper that actually makes a huge difference, especially when you have children.
So how is your marriage or relationship brand? Y'all do it biblically, traditionally? That's just
No, not true. We're not traditional at all. I don't aspire to be traditional at all, and I'm not married to a traditional man. So we do
two
things.
non-traditional couples.
Yeah.
Married. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to be traditional. I do what wives do: cook, clean up, help out around the house, take care of my kid, but help pay bills. That's not what a traditional wife does, but
Okay.
I help pay bills, and we split the dealings of the house. There's 3 stories. Joel clean the top level, I'll clean the bottom level, we'll both clean the middle section. We take equal parts. Some days Joel don't clean up because I like to do things a certain way. So I'll just tell him, get out of my face. I'll do it myself because I want shit done a certain way. So it always ends up me cleaning up by myself, but I prefer it that way because I want stuff a certain way. There's stuff yeah. And men clean differently than women, in my opinion. We're a little bit more detailed. We'll hit the baseboards and stuff, sweep, dust, mop, sweep, mop, in that order, literally. And it's our house. I feel like every woman likes to clean their house in a specific way because they want their shit to look a certain way. And you can tell when somebody has touched something or moved something, or at least I can, and who did this? Don't touch nothing that doesn't belong to you. Don't touch my decorations. All they need to do is take the trash out, because I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
That's not a shared responsibility.
So you being a virtuous woman in the house?
Meaning, like cooking, cleaning, things like that? Yeah.
And all the decoration, making house a home, wanting certain things certain way, organizing.
Yeah, if that's what a virtuous woman is, I considered it OCD, to be truthfully honest. Grew up with my mom with OCD, and she was the same way. Everything had to have a place. Everything had to look pretty. My dad wasn't capable of doing that. They don't care about that. Generally, men don't they don't care. This house is clean. I don't think half the time Joel notices, because when people come over, he'll be like, yeah, she did this and she made this and she made that. That makes me feel good, because he notices that his home is beautiful, and that makes me feel good because I did a good job. But also, I'm extra. Half the shit that's in here we probably didn't even need. But the stuff that I wanted that he didn't want to pay for, I bought.
Okay.
So that's how it goes.
14 years together. Married for 2.5.
2.5.
2.5. How'd y'all meet?
I'm friends with his sister.
You're friends with his sister.
Yes, I went to high school with his sister. Her name's Jaleesa. Me and her became cool, and then I started meeting the rest of the family, and then I met his older sister, Stefana, and me, Jaleesa, and Stefana would hang out. At the time, I had a boyfriend named Mark, but he's a piece of shit, so he could just, I didn't give a shit what he did, and, you know, I was already, like, moving on with my life. He was getting into trouble. He was getting accused of all types of stuff, so I was cutting my ties. And then one day, you know, she was like, you know, I have all kinds of, you know, I have all these brothers. It's like 11 of them. So she's telling me I think she said like 6 brothers or something like that. And she's like, they're all handsome. No lie. And yeah, so one day we're all in the car, me, Jaleesa, and Stefana, his 2 sisters, and we're smoking, and they're like talking about, like, Stefana says, I want you to talk to my brother because they didn't like his girlfriend. His girlfriend was friends with Stefana. They, you know, scissored probably, I think, a couple times. I know they fucked around a little bit, and then she had sex with his brother. You know, while they were together, I believe, and before, like, she's, you know, kind of, you know, ran through, but that's how that came about. I'm a homegirl. Shit, I didn't really know her, and I wasn't planning on, like, dating him or anything. It is what it is. They're telling me she's a terrible person, and I'm a good friend. It is what it is. So my job was to talk to him because they felt like he would be more interested in me and leave old girl alone. And that's kind of what happened. But not in the expectation that we either of us thought, because we've been together ever since.
That's an interesting way to meet somebody.
It's very interesting.
And then here you come in the picture. 14 years plus
I
2.5.
think what made it easier too is because I knew his sister. I don't think he really cared or anything like that, but I think it was because I knew his sister. I'm from the Valley. He's from LA. I'm coming around. You know, it was a different vibe. I'm not from LA, and he's dated girls from LA, which there's a stark difference between, well, at one point there was, the Valley and LA, in my opinion. There's certain shit that goes on in LA that doesn't in the Valley, that I'm not used to growing up. It's probably the same now because shit is messed up everywhere. But
where at in the Valley? What city?
Woodland Hills, Canoga Park, Calabasas area, Chatsworth.
So you West Valley.
West Valley.
West Valley is nice.
I was born Woodland Hills, raised there pretty much my whole life.
Did you go to Taft High?
Graduated from Taft.
Taft High, what year?
2009. I'm old.
Oh, so you way after.
Yeah,
Jordan
way
Farmar
after.
now.
Yeah. No, I didn't go to school with any of the, well, Carucci. Carucci was in school, but I don't really consider her a celebrity like that.
Oh, she got her fame off of Chris Brown?
Yeah, basically. I mean,
I
fame
know
is
she
fame.
was
I'm not
before Chris
hating.
Brown.
I'm not hating. She's a beautiful girl, but to me, a celebrity is like Chris Brown, Rihanna, Beyonce, like a superstar.
Okay.
So she's a local celebrity, in my opinion, like, who got incredibly lucky.
Do you believe in gender roles in relationships?
Yes and no.
Why?
There's certain things that are basic life skills, cooking, cleaning up, washing your clothes. Like, that would be stuff you would have to do if you didn't have a wife. So to get a wife and pretend like you don't know how to do those things, because there will be days where your wife might not be able to do that, because most women nowadays have to work. Most women are not married to traditional men who go out, aside from yourself, but you follow biblically. Not everyone follows biblically, and most men expect their wives, girlfriends, or whoever to go to work and help provide like he does, because it's shared.
Yeah.
Which, granted, yeah, it's shared, but my
Two
opinion,
incomes better than one?
2 incomes are better than one. But I also think if the economy was better, we would have more men who would be full providers, because they would feel more secure in doing that, because they make the money to do that. The economy doesn't give for really anybody, unless you're single with no kids, no other outside responsibilities, to live off one income. It's hard, and shit is expensive. So gender roles as far as like decorating the house, that's my job. That's a gender role to me. Mowing the lawn, that's a gender role. Fixing a car, gender role. Changing the air filters, that's a man's job. Taking the trash out, that's a man's job. Just as I cook it. You do those things, I'll cook. I'll do the laundry. Cleaning is off the table because, like I said, I like shit a certain way. So I don't expect him to clean up because I get irritated if he's not even sweeping the floor right. How I would. You know what I'm saying? Like, start from upstairs and then go all the way down. If he starts sweeping in the middle of this, middle of the house, section of the house, I'll go crazy. So I don't expect him to clean up because I want it done a certain way. Even down to the way I wash dishes. I wash dishes a certain way. But if I need things that men are usually supposed to do done, then yeah, fixing shit. Fixing a car, changing my oil, fixing my tire, putting air in my tire. Patching up a wall. I mean, I could do that, but hammering shit, little stupid stuff like that.
He does the masculine things, you do the feminine things.
Exactly, and I don't mind doing that because, shit, why not? What's the problem? Some days Joe will cook. Some days I don't feel like cooking. I'll be like, I don't feel like cooking today, and he'll come downstairs and make dinner for everybody. He's not against it, and I eat differently. I cook a different variety of foods, which is probably why he prefers for me to make food, because I buy things like Wagyu steak and I make steak potatoes with asparagus, or like hearty meals. Joel could cook, but he's not cooking like that, if that makes sense. So obviously it's my job to feed him. I make the better food.
So around what?
And I have a kid.
Oh.
I have to make sure my son eats. Period, point blank. So if I don't feel like cooking, we go buy food, or Joel will cook food. But if I don't eat, off top, 6 is going to eat if nobody else does. Off top. He has to.
So who eats first?
I serve 6. I make all the plates. When the food is done, I make all the plates and I just tell them to come and get it, to be truthfully honest.
If you have to cook it, walk it, and serve it and give it to somebody, who's the first one you serve them to?
9 times out of 10, 6.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, and I know most people be like, oh, you serve your husband first. My husband will tell me, give 6 his food first. We both agree on that. That logic don't fly with us. Like, no, we feed our child. Our child is most important. Obviously, our relationship and our marriage and stuff, but we both agree our child is most important because we waited so long to have him, and we were told we couldn't have kids for so long. So we do prioritize him. Not to a point where he's too spoiled or this or that. There is discipline and there is structure and there is a schedule here, but we do most definitely prioritize 6 over a lot of things. And we prefer it that way because we love him that much.
Nice.
Yeah. And we don't want any more kids. I've had conversations with Joel to make sure. At first he was talking about it, but now that 6 is getting older, he's like, yeah, actually, I'm good. I think we're good with just the one. 6 doesn't even want siblings. He's like, he doesn't want a sibling.
No, he don't want to be a big brother to
in his mind, he's a big brother to Loren's baby. He'll tell me, Loren had a baby already. We got Goody. That's his logic. Like, we don't need no baby over here. Okay, I could go see the baby over here. She could come spend time with us for a little bit, but they gotta go. She gotta go after a while.
So he wants to be the only child.
He wants to be the only one so far. But by the time he decides if he want a kid, I'm most definitely not gonna be having any. I'm already 33 and I'm not gonna have a kid in my 40s or close to my 40s. There's too many risks for that. And I had a lot of risk with him.
What were some of the complications you had?
Shit, just the scare of him having Down syndrome. He had a calcium buildup on his heart, and that is a soft marker for Down syndrome. But a soft marker meaning like the chances of him having Down syndrome were literally slim to none. He had a 94% chance of coming out normal, but it's still something that they have to test, and be concerned about because it could have progressed and got, bigger, the things like that. Mm-hmm. That on top of him being wrapped around in the cord 2 times.
The umbilical
I was,
around his
yeah,
neck? Ooh.
2 times. I was in labor. My water had broke. I was already losing fluid. I thought I peed on myself because it was just like a little bit of trinkle. I was already having contractions. Like I knew I was in early stages of labor because I was getting close to the end. Well, I was like 3 weeks away from my due date. But I, for some reason, my whole pregnancy, I knew I was going to have him early. I had him. You were there. You just take me to my doctor's appointment. We go into the ultrasound, and the doctor, he didn't have the thing on my stomach for what? Not even 2 minutes, huh? Before he hurried up and took it off and came back and gave us papers like go next door immediately. Right? It was like a couple minutes. It wasn't even a couple minutes. It was a couple seconds. He moved that thing around, came back in. It was like, I'm recommending delivery today because you're losing fluid and the cord is wrapped around his neck 2 times. So he had a chance to suffocate 2 different ways. So March 26, 2019. And that day, it was just supposed to be a simple appointment. We went to my doctor first. The doctor was like, you need an ultrasound. I called the ultrasound place. And then they said, if you could be here in 30 minutes, we'll see you. And I'm like, come on, let's go. And I waddled my ass, me and you, and I'm waddling to your car. We drove, maybe 10 minutes down Ventura to Tarzana Hospital. And yeah, we walked up in there and you were laughing at me. You thought it was so funny. I was freaking out. You was like, you having a baby. And you got me a burger and they're like, yeah, she can't eat. And she's like, she can't eat? What?
Eat this burger.
She was like, let her eat the burger. And I'm like, they're like, no. I'm like, no, I don't want to poop on myself. Because what if I did not want to have a C-section. And that's why they tell you not to eat before giving birth, like either C-section or vaginally. Because some women shit on themselves, like when they're pushing the baby out. That's so embarrassing. I didn't want to welcome Six into the world with poo on the top of his head.
You born with poop on you.
No, shitty baby. Like nobody, ain't nobody gonna want to hold the nigga because he stank. So, yeah, no. But aside from that, I freaked out, and that's how he got here. But for 8 years, me and Joel tried. We broke up for like 1.5 years, and I think that had a lot to do with it. We lost our apartment. We had gotten into a car accident. We were trying to, get pregnant, and I wasn't getting pregnant, and shit was just falling apart at that time in our minds, and he just dipped on me. It took me a while to realize that I was, like, he was planning on not coming back and shit, and then I'm hearing certain shit that he's doing, and then I went off and did my own thing and found a guy to talk to. So it was just a whole bunch of bullshit from, like, ending of 2016 to the beginning of 2018.
That was rough.
It was rough.
And not be able to conceive and have a child.
That's rough. And then for me, I was like secretly depressed about it. I wouldn't say anything to anybody but I would be like jealous of all my friends. They're getting married, they're having kids, like they're living like the life you would want to live. Yeah. Having a family, making a family for yourself, and just being an adult, being grown up, buying houses and shit. And I'm like, damn, I'm just a girl. I've been a girlfriend for 6 years, and I'm complaining, But I never complained to Joel. It was what it was for me. And then I slowly started to get over it. I'm like, I don't even care anymore. And then one day Joel's like, do you want to marry me? It was so casual too. It was like perfect. It was casual. We went through a little drive-through, and I'm like, I don't want a big wedding. I want to have a big reception party. Because I don't want to have to spend all this money. I don't want to have to, it's like way too expensive. When I get rich, then we could have like a vow renewal or something like that, like the wedding we never had, and do it real big. But it wasn't necessary for me to do that. We all packed up in a car, like 3 cars, and we rode and did the drive-thru. Everybody got out the car. That was more fun for me. Smoked a little blunt. It sounds ghetto as shit, but it's actually fun.
Okay.
It's fun. We went out to dinner that same night, And then obviously we were supposed to had a reception party, but my mom went to the hospital, so that's on pause because she was the one who was helping me plan it and pay for it. So yeah, and I'm not doing anything without her, so that's on like pause until something happened. Get her own something, but yeah.
Okay, well, 2.5 years still going good.
Yeah.
Y'all ever went through premarital or marital counseling?
No, we didn't do any counseling.
Before, during, or after?
None, ever. I want to do some marriage counseling, or just therapy for each of us individually. Something. It's necessary. Not not that we necessarily have problems that we need to talk to them about, but personally, I feel like we have problems. I have a lot of anxiety. Joel has, things that I feel like he could talk and work through with a therapist, and we could talk to together as a couple. Like, I feel like therapy helps. It's taboo in the Black community for some reason, going to a therapist, and really, it's really helpful.
I believe it's helpful.
I
Some
believe
people
it's
think
helpful.
it's a weak move. Oh,
Yeah, no,
you
it's
weak-minded.
necessary. It's necessary, especially when you don't know how to navigate through a problem on your own, in your marriage, with your family, and with your children. Like, therapy is necessary, and it helps. It works if you put the work in. Just like in a relationship and a marriage, put the work in, it could work.
So how come Black America is #1 divorce in the United States of all ethnicities?
Honestly, I think it's generational. We've seen, like, let's start in the beginning. And I may sound stupid, maybe not, but let's start at the beginning of fathers being taken out of the home. Not
Okay.
because of the mom, because if you think about it, there were nuclear Black families
Yes.
until the government came in and did introduce crack and all the other bullshit. And then fathers are being taken away from the home. Children are growing up without their fathers. And then it starts off as something that they can't handle. And then it turns into a way of life. It's Black women are not strong, or I could do it on my own. That doesn't come from them being tired of their husband's shit. That comes from them having to be strong because they're being taken away out of the home. So, and it's transformed into, I don't need a man, I don't need this, da da da. No, every woman needs a man at some point.
So a man needs a woman needs a man.
Yeah, we need both.
So are men and women equal?
No, not really. No.
No?
No, physically, no. Physically, no, not at all.
What about mentally?
Mentally, you can't compare in my opinion, mental status between men and women, because men and women can have the same problem. Emotionally, they say women are more emotional than men. Yes, that tends to be true, but that's because we're communicators. There's more men who have mental health issues than women because you guys hold things in, and that's Black, white, Hispanic, whatever. There's a lot of more men in nursing homes than there are women as well.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's changed, but the statistic that I've read, there's more men in nursing homes, lonely.
So it's the incarceration.
Mass incarceration, gangs, drugs, and laziness.
You remember the DARE program?
Huh?
The DARE program?
I passed it, but I still smoke weed. I still did tried a couple of drugs. But I did it with care, though. I researched everything I've ever done.
So they did everything they could to destroy the Black man and force the Black woman to be.
I don't think that was the intent. I think it was to just separate the families.
By taking the Black men out the picture.
Yes, taking out their source. Let's say in those days when all that started happening, men provided for their families. There were a lot more stay-at-home moms. Women were barely getting, into the workforce and things like that. There were career-driven women, but the majority of women were soccer moms. Especially Black women. There were, it's crazy that we've been, desensitized to the thought of being able of a two-parent home in a Black family, a thriving, healthy two-parent Black family home. Those existed before being migrated into the shitty part of towns, given scraps and targeted because they're Black, police arresting them. 9 times out of 10 because they didn't do anything introducing crack, and it's been proven that police and the government has introduced the drugs into black communities on purpose. That could be a conspiracy, but supposedly it's proven.
Crack babies in the 80s.
Crack babies in the 80s. Fucking, I don't know, fathers. And I'm going to say this and I probably get backlash, but women who force men to be fathers who don't want to be fathers. If that makes sense.
Well, if he has a kid, he should be a father.
Yeah, but also it's a lot of women, it's going to be my body, my choice. Yes, so if a man is telling you that he doesn't want to, he's not ready to be a father, and you decide to continue to have that baby, you cannot really expect him to be there. He's let it be known he doesn't want a child, he's not ready to have a child, and a lot of women will keep a child thinking that that's going to keep the man around, and it's not. He has a choice as well, just like you have a choice. If he wanted the baby and you didn't, and you went off and got an abortion,
he gonna leave you with that child.
Exactly. I told you I didn't want it. It sounds so fucked up, but if a guy tell me he don't want, if I tell a guy, if I told Joel I was pregnant and he said he's not ready for kids or anything like that, I don't believe in abortion, so I would have kept my baby. But I wouldn't expect shit from him. You could sign your rights off, actually. You don't have to you could sign your rights away. He doesn't necessarily, and that's me adding to the single mother pool, but also I just couldn't do it.
How you feel about single mothers in the dating world?
I'm 50-50. 50% of it, I think, is women who were in relationships with men and, trapping them, having a baby, knowing the relationship ain't working, get pregnant instead of, making proper decisions, whether that be keep your baby and, dip off, whether you're still going to be a single mother, regardless, because you stay with that guy, just like I said. And then also not fully being with somebody, knowing the person before you lay down and let them get you pregnant or have unprotected sex or whatever the case may be. Drunken nights happen. A lot of single mothers, one night stands. What do you call it? When they're cheating, products of, infidelity. Then the family gets split up that way, end up with children, end up with a baby, and you lose your guy. Men who are generally just pieces of shit too, that exist as well. Men who will feed you the fucking world, love bomb you, and then as soon as, you get comfortable and you think that your life is going good, you guys are having a good relationship, you get pregnant, you're going to be a family, and then it's like, yeah, on to the next. The grass is greener on the other side type of guys.
Or they just want to keep jumping from woman to woman.
Right. Men with multiple baby mamas, like that's another thing. You're a single mom. You should know you're going to be a single mom if you date a guy who has multiple kids with multiple different women because he didn't take the time to commit to the first 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 baby mamas. Why would he commit to you? It's like reproductive abuse.
Reproduction abuse.
Yeah, it's reproductive abuse. Just laying your seed everywhere and not doing shit to, take care of them. If you don't want to be with the women, okay, there's some women who just want the kid and not the family that comes with it, the husband and all that.
So accountability starts with who?
Whoever needs to take accountability. That's not a gender specific thing. Everybody needs to take accountability for their bad actions or for hurting somebody's feelings or for doing something wrong that they know they shouldn't have done, for lying, cheating, stealing, whatever. Everybody needs to be able to take accountability for the things that they do wrong.
So how come people don't take accountability? There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, because people don't want to... First of all, people don't want to have the opportunity to have have something negative to say about them. People want to have this perfect persona. Everybody wants to be right in their own right. Protecting an image like a facade. It's like you make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. And if I don't want to be around somebody who don't make mistakes and own up to it, who's afraid to make mistakes, who is embarrassed by their mistakes. You're fake. How do you learn?
They don't want the embarrassment.
Then
They don't want that burden on them.
then that's not taking accountability.
No, it ain't.
That's not taking accountability. If you're gonna do the crime, whatever it is, be ready for all the consequences that come after it and own up to it. It's like fighting
Yeah.
a giant. I know I'm gonna lose, but I'm gonna stick my chest out and just be brave. Just be brave. Tell the truth. If you tell the truth and be honest up front, it ain't too much accountability you would have to take. Be straightforward, be honest, and keep your boundaries
Earlier you
and
said,
morals.
yeah. Earlier you said that y'all both are non-traditional. You and your husband.
Yeah, we're not traditional. I wouldn't consider us traditional.
Cause I was gonna ask, do y'all live biblically as well? But if y'all aren't,
No, I mean, we go to church. God is important in our household. We teach six about God and Jesus. We take him to church. If we don't go physically to church, I put it on the TV because they stream it. We try to live by the Bible, but we're not perfect. And I feel like you'd have to be close to perfect to be able to do that.
every man, every woman has fallen short. So
Yeah.
perfect ain't
Yeah.
gonna be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just tell people just do the best you can.
Right. I mean, I don't steal, I don't kill, I don't purposely cause harm to people. I mind my business. I'm helpful. If I see someone who's in need, I help them. Like I try to do things in the right way as in that aspect. I wouldn't consider that living biblically. Like, I love my enemies. I love my neighbors, everybody. People obviously piss me off, but I move on with it. I don't condemn anybody. I don't wish harm on anybody. I don't actually cause harm to nobody unless they,
Yeah.
if somebody hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. But
So what religion are you guys?
Christian,
Christian? Are y'all like Baptist, Catholic, non-denomination,
I
Buddha?
honestly, that it's kind of embarrassing, but I wouldn't know what kind of Christians we would call it because my mother also taught us. Well, my mom's dad taught us. We followed like Christian. You would say Judaism.
Okay.
We follow some Jewish traditions and Christian traditions, but we believe in Jesus Christ. Obviously, I mean, we follow more of the Holy Bible than the Jewish Bible. But it's really no different, though, to be truthfully honest. We're not, or we would what you would call unorthodox Jews.
Okay.
But I don't consider myself Jewish. It's more of a tradition, like a way, not a way of life, but like how you grow up, like a cultural thing that our grandfather taught us and taught my mom, and mom taught us. Like that's how she grew up. She grew up more Middle Eastern than American, and that's how she raised us. More Middle Eastern, but she made sure she taught us about God, Jesus. We stayed in church, mostly black churches, so I would have to say Baptist.
Baptist church?
Probably more.
Okay.
Probably, I would have to do more research on that. I'm not the most religious person, so I can't give you what denomination that we are.
Are you very spiritual?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
Are you a firm believer in the Bible?
Yeah, I mean the Bible is proven.
The Bible is proven.
There's been so many things that are in the Bible that have been proven that I've researched. They say, oh, this is in the Bible, and you discovered this, and this described this in the Bible, and I'll go do the research on it. I haven't read the Bible cover to cover, but when they say, there's facts, they found artifacts to prove that, Jesus dying on the crucifix is a factual story. They have his cloth that they covered him when they put him in the tomb. They have that in the museum right now, and it has the imprint of Jesus's face. I don't think I mean, maybe you could fake that, or maybe my faith is just that strong where I choose to wholeheartedly believe that.
Okay.
But I don't, there's no, you ain't faking that. I'm sorry.
Let's say you were single.
Single?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's a guy you like, but he doesn't believe in God nor the Bible.
Yeah. I don't know how much time I would spend with that person.
You say, I don't believe in that stuff.
I would be offended, kind of, to be truthfully honest. I would be offended a little bit, but
Deal breaker?
It would be a deal breaker if they weren't willing to at least learn. Come to church with me one time. Read just, just a little bit. I'm not trying to force anybody to believe anything that they don't want to, but see for yourself. Do the research for yourself before you completely dismiss God. Okay. And if you're not willing to do that, I'm good. I can't see no future with a man who doesn't fear God. Sorry. I don't care what I do, how often I go to church. I know for a fact that I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't fear God, who doesn't believe in God, and who would turn their back on God. That's not me. And I'll give my life if I have to. If God came here today and said, give your life to me, I'm giving it. I'm leaving all of you guys behind. Bye. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Because when he come to you, I'm pretty sure y'all going to give y'all life too. But I'm gone.
Yeah.
That's a deal breaker for me. If you're not willing to at least learn and do the work, no, I can't.
I had a conversation with somebody who didn't believe. So I asked these 3 questions.
Oh God, please don't tell me it's science. They always come back with it's science.
Every atheist person believes in science.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody believes in science.
Of course.
Because science, you can literally see it.
But science just proves that there's a God.
Yes.
There has to be, okay, if all beings were created through the Big Bang Theory, okay, there has to be an entity, all-knowing, a knowledgeable entity who could be able to create that. It just didn't come out of nowhere. Where did the universe come from? Who made the universe?
Who made all of this?
God did.
So the question I asked one guy said, okay, look, you don't believe, that's fine. I'm not here to try to convince you
Or judge you, right?
Question. Is it possible that a woman could be pregnant and also be a virgin? He said yes. I said, okay. Mm-hmm. Now there's a story in the Bible about the Virgin Mary. Mm-hmm. God went inside her body and impregnated her that way. Mm-hmm. And she was still a virgin.
Right.
So scientifically, in today's world, yes, it's possible.
Yes.
Now, does it happen?
No.
No, but is it possible? Is it real? Yes. And he said yes himself. I said, there go one. Then I asked him, okay, since you said yes, and I told you the story about it, who was first telling this information?
Where
Science
did y'all even get
or
the
biblical?
idea from?
I said, who got there first? The Bible or outside the Bible? Where did it happen first?
Right.
I said, there go one. Question 2. Can a human live in a whale's stomach
Hell no.
for 3 days and 3 nights and come out and still be alive?
If God wills it.
Now, I looked up on Google. There was a man, 54 years old, in 2021, got swallowed by a whale.
I remember that.
He got swallowed on Monday, got coughed out on Thursday, still alive. Mm-hmm. He said, yes, that's possible. Mm-hmm. And the Bible has a story about that too.
Right.
The man went this way. God wanted him to go this way.
Right.
He went this way anyway.
Right.
He sent the whale to go get him.
Right.
Oh, man, I'm supposed to go that way.
Right.
Guys on the boat, grabbed him, threw him overboard.
Right.
Swallowed up and swam that way and coughed up.
Right.
So which was first, the
Right.
Bible or modern day? You said yes, it's possible.
And then how many stories are there of men being caught in whales' stomach prior to 2021? Because I've never heard any.
It's quite a few, probably a whole lot of them.
Oh,
But
really? Well, that's what I'm saying. I ain't never really heard
it's
too many of
scientifically
them.
proven that you can live in a whale's stomach for
Right.
72 hours, get coughed out, and still be alive.
Yep.
Yep. That's 2 for 2. So, when you take a bath, what comes off your skin? He said, dirt. I get a white rag and wipe. What comes off? Dirt. Mm-hmm. So you bathe, you do this, that, it's just dirt come off.
Right.
So when you die and deteriorate, what your body turn into? He said dirt. So if I take your body, put it in the oven, cremate you, and roast your body, what comes out? Ashes. Basically dirt, right? Mm-hmm. So God created a human being by picking up some dirt, made a man his own image.
Right.
And blew air into the dirt and created life.
Right.
Adam.
Right.
So that same dirt and dust God picked up is that same dirt and dust you're going to deteriorate to once you die. Your
Right.
physical body. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, but they say in the Bible that you return to the dirt. When you die, you go back into the dirt. And then when the rapture comes, God comes and takes everybody to heaven. Because there's, I guess, paradise. The paradise is where everybody's waiting. Everybody thinks paradise is heaven. From what I've learned, paradise is like the holding tank to when the end of days come and God comes to wipe everybody out. The people who are in paradise are the ones who make it to heaven.
Yeah.
So
one guy was like, show me God.
Yeah.
Prove to me if there's a God. Show me. Where's he at?
They're going to be wishing and hoping
Right,
when those days, if they're there, when those days come, they're going to be wishing that they sang a different tune.
No man has ever seen God. So he
No.
can't show you God because no one's ever seen him.
They say God only reveals himself to children. Jesus.
You might have saw God through Jesus Christ, but you ain't going to see
God.
the Father God.
Right.
Ain't going to happen.
Right.
So when a person
You would literally like explode with so much love and literally, if you look at God directly, it even says in the Bible who was at the burning bush. Like I said, I don't read the Bible often, but I know some stories. He was at the burning bush. Was it? No.
And and people don't know
that they said you don't look. If you look at me directly, it'll basically kill you. Is what God was telling him. So he made himself into a burning bush instead of revealing his true self to him. So, yeah, I don't
force nothing on non-believers.
Me neither.
But once they experience what they experience, they're gonna be like, oh, this is real.
I think it's up to us to at least try to teach them, you know what I'm saying? Or try to show them the right way. But ultimately, their judgment is their judgment. You're not going to, in the final days, you're not going to be judged because you didn't convert this person or force this person to believe in Jesus Christ. So that's really theirs and theirs alone to kind of navigate through. We're just being put in their pathways, as a deterrence to try to get them on the right path. But if they don't follow that, we can't do anything about it. So
everything that a man looks for in a woman, everything a woman looks for in a man is in the Bible.
Right. Well, what they should be looking for. Most people are not going to the Bible.
Because you got to ask anybody, what is that you look for in a man or what you look for in a woman? Everything they're going to say is going to be in the Bible.
Right.
I want a woman that can cook, clean, do this, do that. Bible.
Yeah.
Proverbs 31, verses.
I want a man who pays the bills and does this.
I want a man who can provide.
Bible.
God made man a provider. A leader, protector, provider. I want a man that can lead. Yeah, that's in the Bible too.
Yep.
I want a man that can protect me.
It actually tells you in the Bible.
Be there for me. Do this for me.
In the Bible.
I want him to be my Prince Charming. I'm his princess. Bible. Everything Bible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell people, everything. How important is sex and intimacy in relationships? What percentage would you give it out of 100%?
Oh my God, this topic, because I'm not a sex every day kind of person.
How important is it to you? 0% to 100.
Compared to all the shit that I have to do, it's not that high on my list. It's supposed to be maybe, I would say 80%.
Woo, man.
Maybe. I don't know how much, but
for you, where is it at?
Like 25%.
Damn.
That's not that bad.
I like to say sex and intimacy is 70%
We
of
have
the relationship.
intimacy. We spend a lot of time together. We do things as a family. Like me and him, like when I cook, we'll cook together sometimes or thing. Like we have intimacy, but by the time it's time to have sex, I'm out. I'm tired. I'm done.
He can do all the work.
Or he'll be sleep. He'll be sleep. He'll be sleep. You know, because he has to go to work. And then when he wakes up, it's time for him to go to work. On his off days, yeah, cool. Now that Sig's going to school, you know, we're getting in during the daytime a couple times if necessary. But I have shit to do. I don't have time to be laying up getting my cheeks clapped all day.
Y'all married.
That makes no difference.
Clap them cheeks.
They can be clapped, but aside from that, I'm not willing because everything builds up for me. I have to get shit done. I will make time for it. You know, maybe I'll go to the corner. You can, you know, a little blowjob or something real quick. But I'm not about to stop cleaning and doing this. I got to do homework. I have to do all this shit. And if I stop to do anything, I'm going to literally take a break. I can't take a break. I can't. And I'm on unlimited time now because Six goes to school. So when I wake up in the morning, get Six ready, drop him off, come back home, I'm coming back in the house to get the house together, possibly take things out, decide what I want to make for dinner, if I'm going to cook anything, or we just going to go out to eat. Clean up the house, do the laundry. Like, clothes pile up because I'll be like, oh, I'll fold the clothes later. I'm going to do everything else and I'll fold the clothes later. It'll be a whole week, and then we're just picking through a basket full of clean clothes to get clothes, like, and then I get irritated, and then I'm like, just don't nobody talk to me, ask me anything. I need to get everything put away. I need to get the house cleaned up, because then the shit starts piling up, and then I start getting anxiety, and then I'll start getting irritated, and then, you know, Six will just start piling more toys, and like you see how easy it is and how quick it is. A mess could be made.
Yeah.
So when that happens, yeah, so I usually tell him, like, let's wait, you know, until later in the day. Let me get my duties done and whatever. But Joel's like, no, just stop. Let's just, I'm like, no. This house is, no. Sorry.
When a person asks what you bring to the table, what does that mean to you?
Bullshit, to be honest. All that what do you bring to the table stuff is so annoying to me. First of all, each person, I mean, what do you expect to bring to the table? There's only so many things you can bring to the table. Love, peace, money, sex. I mean, you could get sex from anywhere, but this has to be like, you know, you have to, whatever, you fit my fly or whatever. What do men expect women to say? Like loyalty, like the basic things. And then when women say that, it's like, you know, I could bring you peace, I could bring you nurture, I could bring you this, and
They don't say that now.
You know, me.
I am the table.
And that's exactly what they mean. Well, in my opinion, it's like, here's how I think about it. A man doesn't have really no life or legacy without a woman.
Damn.
Period.
No life, no legacy.
Really. And when I say no life, I mean no life because what are you going to do? Hang out with your buddies all day?
Some do.
Yeah, and they're losers. Most men who just sit around and hang out with their friends all day, go to work, hang out with their friends, they're losers and they're bored and they're miserable in their lives. And they really would like to be in a relationship or have a companionship at some point. And any guy who says that is a liar. I'm sorry. Liars.
Bros over hoes.
Men require companionship. Period, point blank. More women are able to be alone than men. I'm going to say that again because a lot of people confuse or would expect a woman. Me, I like my solitude. There's a lot of women who love their solitude. Don't bother me. Don't talk to me. Don't, like, you know, who want to deal with people on her own time. Joel follows me around this house. I can't, like, I have to be in his vicinity. Like, if he's upstairs and I get up and I'm coming downstairs, why are you going downstairs? Okay, well, are you staying down there? I'm like, yeah, he's like, okay, well, I'm coming downstairs too. He can't be alone.
Damn.
A lot of men cannot be alone.
A lot of men fear being alone.
Exactly. So
nobody wants to be alone.
Nobody wants to be alone.
What I think of the table is, what do you bring that benefits him, and what does she bring that benefits It's two-way
But
street.
that,
What he benefits her and what her benefits him.
well, of course, but
Guys like Steve Harvey, they talk about woman ain't supposed to bring nothing to the table. The man's supposed to bring everything to the table, and she do this and that after you bring.
no. I mean, I think he's saying that in the sense of courting. Like, courting is a thing. Like, at the end of the day, there is no woman who's just going to meet a guy and be submissive to him and all this stuff and put her full trust in him if she doesn't know that he could be an actual man. Never.
Yeah.
There are some ditzy women who will give her all to any guy just because they say she's beautiful and they love her and they just jump from guy to guy to guy. But the majority of women prefer longevity and are, don't want to be alone, but also like their solitude. They want to have the choice to be bothered with somebody. And all that, what do I bring to the table? This is not a fucking business plan. Let's get to know each other. We could figure it out. Like, everybody's so quick to do everything. That's what courting is: dating, getting to know that person, figuring out if that person is somebody you could see yourself with long term. And men figure that out within the first 6 months of dating someone. And when you date someone, that doesn't mean having sex, and that's actually dating, going out, having fun together, spending time together, learning each other, talking, communicating, doing activities, picnics, like shit like that, going on actual dates. That's really what you're supposed to be doing in the beginning stages of what we would call today talking to somebody.
Yeah.
When you're talking to somebody, that's your chance to get to know them, to see if what they are about is what you want to put on your table. I'm not interviewing. Like, that's stupid. It's not transactional. Everything is so transactional nowadays. Let's go have coffee. Tell me your likes, your dislikes. Like, what are you interested in? What do you like to do? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, if people start asking each other those types of questions, what are your goals for the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Those are good questions.
What are your plans for your future? Everybody's worried about dating single moms. Like, oh, if she has kids and multiple baby daddies, okay. What does that have to do with her characteristics? All that shows is that she probably chose maybe bad men, the wrong men, but that necessarily doesn't always mean that. Sometimes things don't work out. And people don't foresee that in the beginning of their relationships. They think they're going to be together. A lot of people end up having kids because they want to be with that person, and then shit just doesn't work out.
Are relationships transactional?
Sometimes.
I say relationships are transactional. It's a give and take.
Sometimes there's a give and take, but it's not.
Give something.
I think it's transactional, like actual money wise.
Okay.
Like, I feel like a lot of people want to be with somebody who can make their lives easier instead of building a life with someone.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Last question. What advice would you give to those who are not married but are seeking marriage?
Relax. Slow down. I mean, if you don't get married tomorrow, it's not the end of the fucking world. Get to know the person, whoever you're dating, courting, talking to, whatever, and try not to have sex with them right away. If you really if you really want to be married, man or woman, hold on. Just keep all your shit in your pants. Your vagina and your penises, keep them in your pants. Because you don't want to base that off of you want the first impression of you to be good. You want them to think about you, but not in a sexual way, but you want to enrich their lives in other ways where they're thinking about you in other aspects of, like, oh, I see a painting. Oh my God, so-and-so will love that painting. He would want to paint that, or just little stupid shit like that. I don't know. Instead of learning each other's bodies, learn the person that you're talking to, figure out if you want to be with them, figure out if they're the person that you can spend your life with before you go get married. And don't rush into it. Stop looking. I mean, if you believe in God, for the non-believers, God is going to direct you. You have to, it's not on your timing, it's on God's timing. I didn't have a baby on my time. I had a baby on God's time. I had completely given up on the baby. I didn't care about being married. something clicked in Joelle. First of all, you're not going to get married unless that man wants to be married. So for females, don't rush. Don't push. When are we getting married? 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 I didn't do that. I was just like, fuck it. I didn't really care. I love Joelle, whatever. I don't care. And I don't care about cheating either. I'm over that. Just don't bring no shit to my house, and don't have no females calling me. I don't have time to be fighting, arguing with bitches. Like, good. 9 times out of 10, she probably doing me a favor. I need a little break.
Wow.
I mean, it's true. It sounds fucked up, but as long as my life doesn't change, he continues to pay the bills here. He continues to be the great father that he is, continues to be the husband to me that he's been doing. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care. Don't bring nobody, don't bring no females to my house. Don't like feel comfortable enough talking to them in my face and things like that. Of course, keep your shit discreet. But if I found out, I would not be bothered. It is what it is. Okay. I'm 33 years old. I have a kid. I have the ring. I have the house. He's not leaving. And I can say that confidently because we've been through that where he tried it, thought the grass was greener on the other side, and then just something as simple as to the girl not plucking the hairs out of his hairs, or not, knowing how to, doing shit like that. Clipping, I used to give Joel manicures and pedicures until he started, doing it himself. He's like, I know how to do it now. Shit, I can do my own shit now. Cool, big dog. Them toes was barking at me anyway. Shoot, I did it out of love, but yeah, no, I don't care about cheating. I mean, my life doesn't have to change. If he wants to have something on the side every now and then, keep that bitch on the side and don't bother me. But that's kind of like how my mom was. As soon as things start changing around here and my life becomes hard because of it, we have a problem.
Okay.
We have a problem.
Whatever it is you do, keep it out
No
there.
No babies, no diseases, no phone calls, because, they need to be in their place. They need to know that if you're going to deal with me, this is where you're going to be at. And it's never going to change. So don't develop feelings, which that might not be hard, but Joel's not that kind of guy, though, either.
Okay.
Just in case. I mean, if he do, Joel's the type that he will mess with a girl to get some money out of her. For some reason, women love giving Joel money. And then he'll come back home to me and give it to me. So I'm kind of like a pimp.
Yeah.
But that's only like happened a few times, things like that. Like, Joel is a smooth talker with them. Can't get me.
He
can't get me.
I'm almost 20 years. I would hope he can't get you.
He can't get me.
All right. Well, nice having this long conversation.
Super long, non-traditional conversation.
Super long, non-traditional relationship.
Unorganized conversation because I bounced all over the place. But it's okay.
All right.
It's all right.
Thanks for having you.
Thanks for having me.
Very well appreciated.
You're welcome.
It's your boy James to the O with my cousin Arielle. Show him the ring. Show him the ring. Oh. Ooh, there it is.
Period. I know the